For a long time, people have believed that staying fit requires tough workouts, heavy lifting, and hours of movement every week. But there is a place in the world that completely challenges this idea. On the islands of Okinawa in Japan, the number of people living past 100 years old is higher than almost anywhere else on the planet. What is fascinating is that most of these individuals never followed gym routines, never tracked sets or reps, and never used equipment. Still, they remain mobile, balanced, and surprisingly strong even at extremely old ages. They can kneel down to work in their gardens, push themselves up from the ground without needing assistance, and walk long distances with stability. Researchers from around the world traveled to Okinawa hoping to uncover a hidden secret, maybe a rare herb, maybe a special diet, or some unusual natural remedy. Instead, they discovered something much simpler and far more unexpected. These elders were practicing a type of physical training that involved almost no movement at all. They were not lifting weights or swinging their arms. They were simply holding positions, allowing their muscles to stay engaged while remaining still. This method, known today as isometric stretching or isometric exercise, trains the body by creating tension without motion. It is incredibly simple. Hold a controlled position, breathe steadily, and let your muscles do the work without moving from place. Scientific interest in isometric training has grown rapidly in recent years. A major review published in 2023 in the British Journal of Sports Medicine analyzed more than 15,000 individuals and found something remarkable. Isometric exercises lowered blood pressure more effectively than walking, running, swimming, or cycling. Systolic pressure, the top number, dropped by almost 9 points on average. That kind of result is impressive even compared to medications. But what truly sets isometric training apart is that its benefits extend beyond blood pressure. It enhances strength, improves posture, and increases something called time under tension, which refers to how long a muscle stays engaged during a single movement. In a regular squat, for example, the muscles might be active only for a few seconds on the way down and back up. But when someone holds a partial squat without moving, those same muscles remain engaged for much longer, 30 seconds, a minute, sometimes more. This sustained tension builds functional strength, meaning the kind of strength you actually use in your daily life, such as lifting grocery bags, climbing stairs, or preventing yourself from falling when you lose balance for a moment. What makes the Japanese approach fascinating is how simple and practical the exercises are. They do not require flexibility like yoga, and they do not involve complicated steps or fast movements. These techniques were developed through generations of observation and refinement. Today, modern science is finally confirming what the elders in Japan have known all along. 5 specific isometric stretches are especially common among older adults in Japanese communities. They are simple enough for anyone to perform, regardless of age, fitness experience, or physical limitations. And when done consistently, these movements can dramatically improve mobility, strength, balance, and overall health, especially for people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. The first of these techniques is the seated wall press, a gentle but powerful exercise for the upper back. Imagine sitting with your entire back touching a wall. Your arms are bent like goalposts, elbows at right angles, palms facing forward. You press the backs of your arms and elbows into the wall and hold the position. It may look easy, but the tension builds quickly and activates neglected muscles along the spine and shoulder blades. Research from Osaka University examined older adults who performed this simple hold daily for a couple of months. The results were impressive. Stronger upper backs, reduced shoulder pain, and significant improvements in posture. Many adults today, especially seniors, develop a forward head posture, where the neck leans forward and the shoulders round inward. This not only looks older, but also restricts lung capacity and increases strain on the spine. The seated wall press helps reverse those issues by retraining the body to sit and stand upright natural. Starting with a 20-second hold is enough for beginners. Breathing normally during the hold is important, because holding your breath can increase strain on the heart. Over time, the hold can be increased to 30 seconds or even 45 seconds. Many Japanese elders prefer doing this movement early in the morning because it wakes up the postural muscles that support the body throughout the day. Others repeat it in the evening to relax tension built up during work, walking, or chores. What this simple exercise does extremely well is target the rhomboids and mid-trapezius muscles, two areas that weaken noticeably as people age. By strengthening these muscles, the body naturally stands taller, breathing becomes easier, and back tension begins to fade. A second important isometric movement practice throughout Japan is a standing hip hold known as the hip anchor. This exercise supports stability, balance, and the strength of the hips, an area crucial for preventing falls. According to the National Institute on Aging, hip weakness is one of the strongest predictors of falls in adults over 60. The hip anchor addresses this issue directly. It involves standing beside a chair or counter for light support, lifting one foot a few inches off the ground, and then pressing the standing leg firmly into the floor while holding the lifted leg steady. The stillness activates the glutes, stabilizer muscles on the side of the hip, and even the deep core. A study from Nagoya University followed a large group of older adults who practiced the hip anchor daily for an entire year. Those who performed the isometric version, not the moving version, experienced greater improvements in balance and hip strength. Many found they could walk longer without getting tired and felt more secure on uneven surfaces like gravel, grass, or stairs. To perform this hold properly, the supporting knee should stay soft, not locked, and the hips must stay level. Even small shifts in posture can activate different muscles. People in Japan commonly do this stretch during daily activities, such as waiting for water to heat or during commercial breaks while watching television. As strength improves, they reduce reliance on the chair, using only a fingertip for balance or none at all. This slow progression is one of the reasons the hip anchor helps retrain balance so effectively. A key muscle involved in this movement is the gluteus medius, a stabilizer that prevents the pelvis from dropping when you walk. When it weakens, the signature waddle gait appears. Isometric strengthening helps restore symmetry and smoothness to the way you walk, improving efficiency and reducing pressure on the knees and lower back. The third isometric stretch commonly practiced by Japanese seniors is the doorway chest opener. In today's modern world, many people spend hours leaning forward over kitchen counters, computer screens, phones, books, and steering wheels. This constant forward posture tightens the chest muscles and weakens the upper back. When this imbalance becomes chronic, it leads to shoulder stiffness, reduced breathing capacity, and neck strain. The doorway chest opener helps counteract all of these effects by stretching the front of the body while strengthening the back. Standing in a doorway with elbows and forearms pressed against the frame, you take a small step forward until you feel a gentle stretch in the chest. Then, instead of pushing or moving, you simply press the forearms into the frame while squeezing the shoulder blades together. This combination of tension and stillness creates an isometric stretch that lengthens and strengthens simultaneously. People who have tried this technique regularly often report reduced shoulder pain and an easier time lifting their arms overhead. It is especially beneficial for anyone who spends long hours typing, cooking, or working at a desk. Research published in a major physical therapy journal showed that adults who practiced this type of isometric chest stretch saw significant reductions in pain and notable improvements in shoulder mobility after just a few weeks. Most elders repeat this exercise several times a day, often after activities that involve leaning forward. It not only improves posture, but also expands the chest cavity, allowing the lungs to fill more deeply. Better breathing means better oxygen flow, and that improves energy levels, mood, and even sleep quality. The fourth technique, though most people would rank it as one of the most essential, is the seated knee press. Knee discomfort is extremely common among adults over 50. Weak quadriceps, stiff tendons, and lack of joint stability all contribute to pain and reduced mobility. The seated knee press targets all four heads of the quadriceps muscle group using isometric tension rather than movement, which reduces joint stress. Sitting in a sturdy chair, you extend one leg forward, not fully locked, and point the toes up. Then you tighten the thigh muscles as though you are trying to push your heel away from you. This tension activates the muscles deeply without placing pressure on the knee joint. Studies from the University of Tokyo found that people with knee osteoarthritis who practiced this type of isometric exercise regularly saw improvements in pain levels, walking speed, and stair climbing ability. Strengthening the quadriceps this way also improves the strength of tendons and ligaments around the knee. Tendons that are slightly stiffer, not brittle, but firm, provide better support and reduce the risk of injury. The beauty of the seated knee press is that it can be done anywhere, while eating breakfast, watching television, or relaxing in the evening. Starting with 10-second holds is enough for beginners, and gradually increasing to 15 or 20 seconds over time helps reinforce strength. It is a practical and accessible movement for older adults who may find squats or lunges difficult but still want to strengthen the muscles essential for walking and standing. The final and most powerful isometric technique practiced by Japanese elders is a variation of the classic wall sit combined with controlled breathing. This movement engages nearly every major muscle group in the lower body while simultaneously calming the nervous system. Researchers in Tokyo studied adults who practiced this technique daily and found that their risk of falling dropped dramatically by more than half. They also performed better in balance tests and could stand up from seated positions more quickly than those who did not practice the exercise. To perform it, you stand with your back against a wall, walk your feet forward, and lower your body until your legs form a slight bend, around 130 degrees instead of the deeper angle used in Western fitness routines. This gentler angle is recommended because it protects the joints while maximizing muscle activation. The key component that sets this method apart is the breathing technique. Inhaling slowly for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, and exhaling for 6 seconds. This type of breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps regulate blood pressure and calm the body under physical stress. Holding the wall sit while breathing in this controlled rhythm can be challenging at first. Many people feel their legs shaking within the first half minute, but over time, the shaking becomes a sign of progress rather than weakness. Practicing this technique twice a day, once in the morning and once at night, helps activate the muscles for daytime activities and then release tension in the evening. Some studies even show that doing this type of isometric exercise at night improves sleep quality significantly. The benefits of this combined practice go beyond muscle strength. It enhances body awareness, improves balance, strengthens the connection between breathing and physical control, and trains the heart to remain steady under exertion. It is a complete mind-body exercise hidden inside a simple posture that takes only a few minutes a day. Together, these 5 isometric stretches offer a simple and sustainable way to improve mobility, strength, posture, balance, and overall well-being. They do not require equipment, special clothing, or large spaces. What they require is consistency, mindful breathing, and a few minutes of time each day. These practices have been passed down through generations in Japan, quietly helping people maintain independence and vitality far into old age. Modern science now confirms what these elders already knew. Sometimes the most powerful exercises are the ones where you barely move at all.